Hey, hello, and welcome to Show and Tell. I am John Park, and this is me guest hosting. I'm also looking around for microphone icons because I was worried my mic wasn't working, but I see a little tiny one there. So let me know in the chat if I am utterly silent, especially if you're a lip reader, then you got all of that. So who am I speaking to? Well, you, the general audience, but also you over in our Discord. That's the main place to go and hang out during the show. It's the adafruit.it/Discord URL. You want to hit up and look for the live broadcast chat channel over there. And the URL to join this very StreamYard show and tell is there over in our Discord. There's also a blog post over on the Adafruit blog, so you can go check those out if you want to come on and show us what you're working on. Show us what kinds of things you're up to, maybe tour us around your workshop, show us a new tool. All of those kinds of things are encouraged over here at Adafruit Show and Tell. So tonight we have a couple of people from Adafruit with some projects to show, and maybe I'll show a little teaser for a thing I'm working on. But yeah, we'd love to see you from the community come and join us as well. First up, we have Scott. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, John. Thanks for hosting and having me.
You bet. What's all this?
Oh man, I got myself into a bit of a hardware rabbit hole.
Nice.
And I just did all the silkscreen. So this is what I'm calling the P4 HIL board, which is hardware in the loop board. So the idea is that you can place down one dev board on here, and it kind of like hosts it so that you can test automatically things, test things automatically with it. So I don't know if I've shown this design off, but the idea is that you have a network jack on the right-hand side that presents everything that's connected to it over USB IP. And then the ESP32P4 is kind of like the brains of the operation. It hosts USB hosts. So this is a USB-A thing here that I don't have the model for. And this is actually the pinout you get on motherboards. If you've ever done USB on motherboards.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't fit another... I can't fit another dual USB-A, but hey, I could put this like 2x5 pinout that you can find adapters on. That's very
familiar
on, like,
now that you mention it. Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I can't like put a hub that has 4 ports and not break out all 4 just in case.
That's a really good idea, because I used to build PCs and I still have some of those weird parts laying around. There were often these like drive slot faceplate things with an umbilical cord for the USB. That's great.
Yep, or the USBs that are like on the front of your case.
Yeah.
They have that too. So, and you can buy them. They're super cheap, just like a few dollars. So this is my compromise of like, I can't not break it out, but I don't actually need it. I probably don't actually need it. And I guess in that vein, underneath, this is a STEMMA QT, and I actually had to put an IO expander. This is my like realization today as I finished up wrapping or the routing. I was like, plugging along, and I was like, wait a minute, that thing's not connected to anything. I was like, oh no. So I had to put an IO expander, and then because it's a 16-pin IO expander, so I added this header here and this header down here to like break out the extra of that as well.
And those are GPIO pins on the P4?
No, those are IO pins on the IO expander, I2C IO expander.
Oh, okay.
I'm using it so this. Not this regulator, there's a thing on the back, if I flip it. There's a power switch here for pull-up resistors. So you can enable pull-up resistors on all of the P4 connected I/O so that you can do I2C testing. So this is a switch for that, and that was the pin that I hadn't connected up to the P4, and I was like completely out of pins, but I had broken out I2C. So it was like, this is the IO expander here. And I have a current sensor. So these are 2 more switches for the USB power, both 3.3 volts and 5 volts, and then a big resistor with an INA 219. So the hope is that you can track all of the power going out of these USB ports. Not for like fine-grained, like let me watch it over time, but just like let me put it into sleep for 2 seconds and make sure that like the voltage goes down.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So that's a sanity check there. And yeah, the idea is that you like kind of start here and then place it wherever it fits, unless you're doing an Arduino Uno form factor thing, which is this other kind of outer pin out for that as well. And then I couldn't decide on how to do power, so you can do power on 2 other pins from the Ethernet and then use a jumper to connect those up. You can do 5 volts from USB, or you can do the barrel jack. And then there's a spot for an external regulator that we have in the shop if you want to be able to do that, like 24 volts down to 5.
Right. And a quick question on the start here row. You've then got 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1.0 spacing. Is that going to cover everything from like a Pro Micro, Trinket, Cutie Pie, Feather, KB2040? All of those different things are 0.1 width.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out how to like show that here, where it's like, okay, Trinket goes here, so it's only 5 pins and it's the narrowest at 0.5 inches, and then Cutie Pie is slightly bigger, but it's 0.6, and then Pro Micro is also 0.6 but longer. So I was like trying to figure out that. The idea is that like all these top ones are all connected, right, vertically. So you can only connect to one of these. And then and then this bottom row is the one that you always kind of start with.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then there's some weird pin sharing that I was trying with these numbers here. So like these 2 rows are shared as well, but in a weird way, like these 5 are actually taken from over here, because when your Arduino, there's like these weird boards, like this one, where they have like Arduino style headers, but then they have an extra row on the inside. And so this weird way of sharing allows you to kind of do both of those rows all at once.
I see.
We'll see if people end up doing it. I spent way too long thinking about this. But yeah, it's because like that one row of Arduino is like mostly pins that you don't actually need. All right, like 3 volts, 5 volts, ground. So that's what I added those there for. And then this is like reset and IO ref or something. So not as interesting either. So yeah, hopefully I'll order it by the end of the week. I am getting the kind of original P4 boards I did in the mail today. I don't have them quite in time for show and tell, but folks, on my deep dive on Friday, I should have boards that will either work or not work. I will not wait to test them. I will be testing them tomorrow, because this design is directly descendant from that design.
So but you can pretend on the stream, on the deep dive.
I mean,
we're seeing it for the first time.
We can do some fun things to it otherwise if it doesn't work out.
The
last thing I do, I guess, since I've gone over most of this, is that I put these mounting holes so they fit on a swirly grid. So we have swirly grids that are like, I don't know, like 5 cells by 10 cells. And this is actually like 5 cells by 4 cells, I think. So like on a 5 by 10, you could fit 2 of these next to each other.
I have one of them right here if people are wondering what we're talking about. These are a Scott and Jeff creation, right?
Jeff, so I made sure, and that's why on this side here they're inset a little bit, because that's like the max of that like 5 grid swirly grid. So
as long as you're willing to go slightly diagonal, I can always make things fit on those swirly grids. But most of our standard things just fit square, which is great.
Yeah, so I made like we had the challenge that some of our boards are like 0.1 inches in thing, but these are 0.2, so they'll fit nicely into the slots of the swirly grid. So that's how you can have a bunch of them all kind of anchored together. Yeah.
One trick that I see, and I don't think you have a lot of room for it, one trick I see in face plates that you use to mount little Eurorack synthesizer modules is ovals instead of holes, because they're like, you may just end up with the guy next to you being a little wider than what he's supposed to be, and so having a little, little wiggle room on your mounting holes is actually pretty nice if you don't have some reason to try to always have it, dead set on a spot with a circle. So.
Right.
I never see that on PCBs, but I have seen that on faceplates.
So that's if you're mounting them next to each other, it gives you wiggle room.
You end up having a little bit of fudge factor there instead of just having to skip a whole HP.
Right. Yeah. I'm hoping that they'll butt right up against each other, but
Yeah, nice.
we'll see.
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks for the show and tell on your board there. It's looking really cool. And people can come on Friday to see how the incoming boards turn out.
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
Great. Thanks,
Or
Scott.
show and tell next week. I'll probably show it here on
Excellent.
on that too.
Cool. All right.
Thanks.
Take care. All right. And next up, we've got Noah. Hey, Noah.
Hey, JP. What's up? So this week we got well, I published it last week, but this week I came up with a video for this project. It's the MIT Green Building Tetris inspired hack build. Yeah, so this was a project that Lamar wanted us to build. It was kind of like it was like a weird hodgepodge of two different projects. Lamar had found some online modeling tool that takes GPS locations and it generates a 3D printable map. So she thought we could 3D print MIT buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of, I forget exactly how it turned into like, oh, we should revisit, we should try to do our own version of the Tetris building hack that happened in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got going on. So let me, I think I messed it up. I'm going to turn it back on. So yeah, it has a Feather prop maker RP2040 on the inside here. It's running CircuitPython code. It is a collab project, so Liz Clark put together the code while I did the 3D printed case. So this is all 3D printed. It's a couple pieces. You got a bottom cover. Thank you. You got the front plate here that has a 9x13 LED matrix. It's using those LED NeoPixel pebbles. So those are really easy to kind of put in and create your own matrix. And then this last detail here, Lamar really wanted all these little greebly bits on the top.
Yeah.
And it kind of really works well.
It's what actually gives me like the Daily Bugle vibes from like a comic book building. It's great.
I'm not sure why it's not. I might need to check why it's not turning on.
It's shy.
It might be. I'm not sure what's going on. It should be working. It literally was just working before the show. So I wonder if oh, there it goes.
Hey.
Okay. So yeah, there it goes. So it starts with scrolling by the text. Interesting hacks to fascinate people. That's what the kind of acronym is. You kind of starts. We're using the what is it? The mini gamepad. Mini gamepad. Stemma QT gamepad. Man, I'm really fumbling my words. But yeah, you can use the buttons to move the Tetris pieces around, and you can rotate with the buttons here. Use the joystick to move the pieces. And then you can use one of the buttons to drop it down. When you pause it, you can use the start button to pause. It'll tell you how many rows that you've cleared. I don't have any rows cleared, so it's probably gonna say 0 rows yet. And then you can resume the game. And
is this in CircuitPython or Arduino?
Yeah, so this is all in CircuitPython.
It's really using fast.
It's pretty good, right? It's using Pixel Frame Buff to treat it as a as an actual display, so that it can do like the edge detection and some other stuff. Let's see what happens when we lose here. It flashes red. Like
it looks dangerous.
On fire. Yeah, it looks
people jump out.
Yeah, and then it tells you how many rows you cleared. We don't have any levels or anything. Like we kind of leave it up to folks that if they want to add like a scoring system, like a more robust scoring system or advanced levels. Or you could even add, of course, sound effects.
It's a framework.
You can add that. Yeah. So it's kind of like a good starting point for folks. You can scale it up. You can, scale it up if you have more NeoPixels. But man, that the black LED acrylic really makes these projects pop.
And do you? I'm trying to remember. I think you also have light spacers with your 3D printed grid, right? So they don't bleed into each other.
Yeah. So I could probably pop it open here. So the way this works is you can pop this part out, and then this actually slides. There's a little rail in there, so you can slide this out.
It's so cool.
And then you can see how, right? You can see how the pebbles just press fit into like these little ovals. So these are actually just press fitted in. They can come out if you want.
That's great.
You can pop back in. And then the grid part here, you can see how the thicker the grid, the more diffusion you're going to have. I had this half the size, and you could really see those hot spots. And
the hot spot in the middle.
It doesn't look good. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah, with that LED acrylic plus the
black
separators,
grid,
it's just so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. And it gives it a good definition too. This also helps too to have the actual grid here that makes the windows. That kind of helps kind of stabilize the whole.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's really floppy.
Yeah, and those window frames kind of glow. Also, you get a little.
Yeah, they do. Right.
Little extra reflection off of them, so they help with the effect.
Yeah.
Really good.
And let's see what else. This was not fun to put all 117 because it's kind of, they get press fitted in, but if you push it too far in, then you have to pop it out, and it becomes a little,
it's work.
It's definitely work. That's like the longest part. Like you can, do other things while it's printing, but man, you kind of
then you're on the hook for
so that just slides back in, and hopefully I don't pinch any wires. I'll worry about that later, but
okay. Yeah, thanks for the demo, and thanks for pulling it apart. That's always
I'll fix it while we go to
nice to see the innards. Yeah, good. All right, thanks so much, Noe.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Okay, and last up we've got Cooper. Bring Cooper on stage. Hey, Cooper, how's it going?
How you doing today?
Good, nice to see you. What's new?
So this is not really CircuitPython related, but I thought it was really cool regardless. So I like to be a little bit of retro guy, but I've been out of it, right, with the computers until I was just happened to be at my local thrift store, and I came across
Pause
this
on
Power
video there.
PC. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me, by the way?
Oh, no.
Wait.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
I'm back. Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
It's back. Something's back. I hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was at my local thrift store, and I've happened to come across this Power Macintosh 7500.
Yeah,
right?
It's familiar looking. Actually, I remember those.
It is. Okay, yeah. So I think this is like 95, 96.
Yeah,
like
absolutely is. Yeah.
Anyway, it's for a price I couldn't resist, so I had to get it. And so I got some games going up here and stuff. But really, what I wanted to show off is the insides.
Oh yeah.
If I can get this sucker open. I have in here, because the original hard drive, actually I need to do some more diagnostics, but I'm pretty sure it's dead. So I used the opportunity to get a blue SCUZzi V2. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's run on a Raspberry Pi Pico, and actually this one has a Pico 2W in it, and it can do your typical, hard drive, whatever. But as I've been learning about it, it can do just so much stuff, and it's blown me away because I used to use a SCUZzi 2SD for like Mac and like older Mac stuff, and it always just like drove me batty because Macintoshes, old Macintoshes, use HFS, right? Which you're probably familiar with, John, right? Which is just very different than our modern file systems, and files tend to get corrupted quite a lot. So what's really cool about this one is the team over at Blue SCUZzi have come up, they've put in the work. Oh wait, I think I hit the wrong one. Hide U tower. Okay, cool. They put in the work to create their own applications for the Macintosh, the Power PC. And it has an SD transfer and a CD changer utility.
Oh, cool.
So you can just throw in all your CDs into a folder on your SD card, and at any point you can just swap through them virtually, right? And I just thought that was awesome because it just makes it really easy for other than turning off, taking out the SD card, putting in a different thing, putting it back, super easy. And it all runs really
that's great. That's great.
Even more importantly, they have an SD transfer tool, which you can just put in files, which you might be familiar with Stuff It archives.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah.
I know. But that used to drive me nuts because it was a chicken and egg scenario. Like, how do you get these files over there? Well, with this, you just put them in there's a shared folder that you put them in, and then they populate on this transfer utility. You just find the file you want, and then just hit the button, and it downloads it to the hard drive. Right? Anyway, I just thought that was super cool. Really there's a bunch of other features. In fact, they can even use the Wi-Fi on the Pico 2W to act. I think it's a Dana port Wi-Fi thing. I don't know. Basically emulates an Ethernet connection.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you can browse the web and stuff.
Get it online wirelessly.
I don't know how much you can actually do there without running to SSL. I mean, this thing can't do SSL, but anyway, I just thought it was super cool and
really neat.
And that whole feature set in this thing alone is just blowing me away and making my life way easier. Whereas this would normally take me like months in order to get doing what I want to do.
Right. Good.
Anyway.
So Blue Scuzzi, that's what people should look for, right?
Yes. I'm not affiliated. I promise.
Yes. Yeah, those are great. So did you say that was a 7600 Power Mac or
it's a 7500?
7500.
Yeah. It has a 100 megahertz. I think it's like a 501 or something. It's the IBM Power PC in it. Really cool. It's got PCI and like you can change. There's a daughter board for the CD, not the CD drive, the CPU. So you can actually upgrade it. I think up to a G3, which is just
crazy.
Weird.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. I come from the world of more the original, like the SE and the SE30 and stuff, and how fast this thing is. I'm like, this just feels like
blown away. No, like I was using Photoshop 2 on that era of Macs, the Power PCs, and even the Quadras that came before it. That I guess were Motorola's, right? And I remember well the 6000 series, which were little pizza boxes, and then the 7s, and I think the 8s were towers. So they had kind of like a distinct set of 3s with those Power PC chips. And we played Myst on that 6000 series one, I remember. So this is like a really distinct Photoshop, and then Myst were big on those.
I need to look into it. If anyone has recommendations, I got Ute Tower going, some Wolfenstein and Doom and stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely will say go hunt down Bungie Marathon, the original. It is.
I think that might be a little too much.
No, we played it on those.
Really?
We played them on a LAN. And I worked at this place, White Wolf Game Studio, and we had like 6 player marathon going on these grade of Macs. It was heady days. I think it might have been Token Ring was the network, though. I don't think it was like an old Mac networking pre-Ethernet kind of networking protocol. Wild. All right.
Super cool. Super. That's all I got for
bringing
you
these
today.
memories flooding back, and thanks for the recommendation. So if anyone hunts down one of these, and does that tend to be? I haven't tried to hunt down these. Does the drive tend to be the thing that's the issue, and in getting an old 90s era Mac going?
I'm not sure. I know when I got mine in, all I got was sad Macs and little discs with little errors on it and stuff. There was no bootable OS, and that's why I'm saying like it might be working. In fact, I think I can add it to the scuzzi chain and set it the right ID or whatever. Yeah, maybe I can get it working. But at least out of the box it wasn't, and it seemed easier to just get this little guy here.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. We used to have like these giant Centronic scuzzi Terminators that had to go on like the last one of the chain, and it was very much a puzzle to decide what order would allow like a hard drive and a printer and a scanner to be on one machine. So there were mysterious things you had to do. So this is a really welcome improvement.
It's so simple. Like there is a Terminator little thing, but it says, hey, just leave it on, you're good. And you can fully, because I think you can have up to 7 devices, maybe 8.
Yeah,
that's scuzzi chain.
That sounds familiar.
You can fully populate it. So you could like this is a 16 gigabyte card in here. You could have 8 2 gigabyte hard drives. I don't know why you would do that. But you could.
more than anything that was ever made on that.
Actually,
software, right?
The original for this had a gigabyte hard drive, which was way more than I was expecting. I think I have it up to 2 gigabytes now or something. But you can definitely play around with it.
And monitor-wise, what kind of port? Is it a VGA port or something?
Oh, it's like some weird DB15.
Okay.
And you need a specific adapter. I had an order an adapter that has a set of 8 dip switches, and you had to follow this weird guide to find out the right setup in order to convert it over to VGA, which is what I have here. And it's a weird resolution. It's like 1170 by 840 or something. But you can run it as standard 640 480. That's what most of the games and stuff run at 640 480. But it's just nice seeing like the higher resolution. Not quite HD, but it's like
that's all pixels. That's great, Cooper. Exactly. Thank you so much for showing this. This is really cool.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right, and look, I think that is going to do it for us for tonight for Show and Tell. Thank you so much for popping by. I was just checking the Discord there. And Jim Hendrickson says, Photoshop 2, that's wicked old. I think oldest I used was PS4. Yeah, that was quite a Early days. That was at least a version before layers, a version or two before layers, I think. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to be here in the workshop tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. I will probably be doing a little bit with this thing and some other stuff. This is a little new concept for me in fight game controllers. So it's called a leverless. This is kind of a weird version of that, but I built this as I was putting together a demo of our really cute little BFF for Cutie Pie, terminal block BFF for Cutie Pie. So we'll be diving into that and some Bluetooth stuff and more. So come on by. And as Scott said, he'll be doing some deep dive on Friday. So come check that out as well. All right. Thanks everyone so much. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park, and this has been Show and Tell. Bye-bye.